Hi, this is Kate. I thought I would do a little video on sharing some of my recent purchases via the bookseller in Oregon and Amazon and stuff that are all sort of art related. The first one I want to share is called the Collage Lamp. It's part of the Labs series. They have so many different books. I know I have several of them. I can't remember what they're all called. You know, there's Map Lab and there's Drawing Lab and all sorts of things. What they do is they take the idea down, and I believe there's 52 different weeks in this particular book, and it for each week it has a process. Like that is adding tints and colors. This one is about surface design. So there's small little increments of ways to add that kind of information to your collages. So it's a nice little little volume to play and experiment with collage. I have another collage book. Let me pull that one out. This one's called Storytelling with Collage, and it's by Roxanne Evans Stout, and it has lots of different, it has things like collage challenge, do it with just one in a day. It has things called a collage story. There's lots of different, this is by artist Amy Coe, I think it says, yeah, Coe. And they give details of how they went about creating the particular, lots of different artists, that particular cause, lots of different artists, like I was saying, Jane LaFazio. Who else is in here? Now that I say that, I can't find other people, but Seth Apter's in here. You know, his kind of really dimensional mixed media pieces. Talks about creating them. But all of these pieces are about creating a story with the collage. She has lots of techniques, different artists. I mean, I think that was kind of cool at her workplace, and it shows her work space any given day and what she's going to set about doing. So if you're interested in collage and you like telling a story, there's one by Orly Avenari in here. So lots of different mixed media artists have their work in this book. I really liked it. It goes into all sorts of details on all sorts of different artists and the pieces that they make, and gives you lots of inspiration. Lots of inspiration. So I highly recommended that. Let's see, what else do we have here? I was watching a video on drawing a face, like in 5 minutes or something. It was really fast. It was by Joy Thomas, and I was about to get the video when I saw this book, and it was used on Amazon, so it cost me next to nothing. But it's really in depth. She has, let's see if I can share something with you you could look at. She takes you from the beginning to the end of a charcoal portrait, from here to here. I don't know how you're going to be able to see this in these videos. To Morden Depth, all the steps that she goes through until she really gets the portrait finished. So, full of great ideas. If you want to draw more realistic faces, I'm sure it goes a little further than that portrait, but she does, of course, she does some amazing work. But if you're at all interested in drawing more realistic faces, okay, here's the final portrait. Isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful. I think this is a really good resource. Like I said, she also has some videos on YouTube that are pretty brief. You have to buy the video to get the full amount, but it gives you an idea of what she's working with. So, excellent book. I can't wait to spend some time working with it. And then I found this one, Art Journal Kickstarter, And basically what it is, it's just a whole lot of different artists, and it takes their, shows you their art journal page and just asks you some questions about it, where their inspiration came from. These are some of the kind of questions. What was the inspiration for your piece? How did you come up with the name? Do you ever give yourself journal prompts? What tips would you give to fellow art journaling artists? That's one example. And they don't ask the same questions of everybody. Sometimes they're a little bit different. But if you need a boost of inspiration, it's kind of fun to see very different. I mean, to me, this journal page is very different. It's by an artist named Sherry Pollock, who I was not familiar with at all. Lots of different, I mean, there's a journal page by that author. So if you need a little bit of inspiration, if you're a newbie and you are just beginning the art journal journey, I think this would be excellent for you. But lots of inspiration. Kind of like that page where she's done the opposite side of the face and then done journaling inside. So it can be just as simple as colors and shapes that inspire you to more in-depth artwork. And lots of artists in here. Most of these I have never heard of before, so it's really kind of fun going through it and getting inspiration from those people. So once again, Art Journal Kickstarter by Christy Conlon. This book I found in Powell's when I was in Oregon, it's called The Ladies Drawing Night. And what this is about, there were like, it's either 3 or 4 ladies. I'm thinking it was 3, but I might be wrong. And they all live in New York, and they all work as illustrators or designers or, and so, you know, so they're doing that kind of work during the day, and they wanted a group to just explore and do some fun things at night. So they started meeting at each other's homes and creating, you know, the evening became, you know, like a food fest too, because they had some good food, which isn't, you know, necessarily, but they, each one of the chapters is on the emphasis of a particular night. So like one might be on drawing. So one of them's a fashion designer, and so that's what they played with. They played with fashion design stuff. Another section might be, and so they all don't do the same things. So the things that they picked out would stretch them a little. You know, here they're doing funky faces and other things with watercolor. The book is really fun because it gives you the, you know, I mean, you could just go through it and do the things like you were having your own art date, or actually start creating one and having a few of your friends over and having it, you know, instead of date night, it's art night. I think it sounds really fun. Here's a page where they were just doing patterns, and these are all leaves. So the book has a lot of, to me, very inspiring to me, and it's fun to listen to these ladies' stories. I mean, they made these cardboard cutouts. Look at these. I mean, these look really cool. This would be fun. I think it would be fun. So I really like this book. It's like a step away from the stuff I normally do. I mean, here they did stuff with black ink, patterns with black ink. I think this would be fun to get together with a few people and just play. And they give you inspiration on how to start your own little group to do this. And there's even a hashtag to put stuff on Instagram or Twitter, etc. So very, very good, wonderful book. It's by Julia Rothman, Leah Gorin, and Rachel Cole. And it's called The Ladies Drawing Night. It says, make art, get inspired, join the party. Very cool book. The last book is the most recent one that I've gotten, and it's called Journeyer Archetypes. And so what the lady who wrote this, and her name is Gabrielle Javier Cerulli, I'm guessing that's how you pronounce her name. I apologize to her if I totally destroyed it. But she takes you through a little quiz determining who your archetypes are, what your archetypes are. And if you really have no clue what that means, if I just say a few words, you'll say, oh, okay, now I understand. An archetype can be like the storyteller, the mother, the queen, the healer, the goddess, the visionary, the writer, the warrior, the pioneer. And so she takes you through that, and you kind of discover what some of your archetypes are, and then she gives you a little really brief description of what that is. I think she really has made it more friendly for everyone. I think the archetypes have a little deeper meaning to them than what she's said, but nevertheless, you can then you can go online and look into the study of archetypes a little deeper if you so desire, or just take up what she's done and then create some artwork based on it. And I'll just show you a couple of these. Let's see. This one's called The Bird Whisperer, and that's by Jessica Sporn. And she talks a little bit about, what she's done. And the other cool thing is each one of the artists, here's Seth after, tells you what archetypes they believe that they are. And then we'll show a piece of what they've made. There's a little bit on supplies if you're a total newbie. Different kind. I thought this was kind of cool. She lists archetypal stencils, just stencils she has purchased that she thinks fits in certain themes. I mean, that would be subjective to you, but I thought that was kind of a cool idea, and talks about using stencils. Shows some of her own work, and then shows some of a number of artists that are in here. And she has some great description demonstrations. I thought these were really cute. She's made these birds out of a paisley stamp, which I want to try that. I thought that was really cool. She's made this little, by doing folded paper, she made this little dress and used that in a spread. So lots of little techniques in the back, intermixed with some well-known artists' work. And it's a great little book. I'm really looking forward to actually working through some of my archetypes in my journal. So if you ever having, because we all have this, so it's kind of fun. Once again, Journeyer Archetypes, available everywhere now. So those are the art books that I've gotten recently, and I hope you had fun with that little tour. And maybe we'll do it again at another time. Okay, bye.